18 pregnancies, one boy. Almost. In fact, I don't even know where to start this reaction story from, but I'm sure a lot of you have been, following this trendy story of a young 18-year-old boy, who is supposed to be an apprentice. He was sent for an apprenticeship, and at the end of the day, he ended up impregnating the daughter of his master and one other sales girl. Okay. And the story has been trending. And I just felt like, okay, we need to bring it here and look at some of the causative factors, And maybe at the end of the story, some of us, I know we have a lot of parents on this platform, we have a lot of younger people also, so that we will learn one or two things from what has happened to that 18-year-old boy. Okay, like I said, 18 pregnancies, just one boy, one boy. And I ask myself, is this as a result of infatuation, possession, or parental neglect? It's a gamut of issues involved here right now. But I think at the end of this story, you guys would, know where I'm coming from. But the thing is, it is a strange tale that is shocking the whole of Anambra State, including, in fact, all part of Nigeria as I speak to you. And the lessons we must learn, there are so many of them. And that is why yours sincerely is actually doing this story. So I'm going to begin this way, okay? When a child is not embraced by the village, he will burn it down to feel its warmth. But what happens when the child does not burn the village? He impregnates. So when he does not burn down the village, he impregnates it instead. Maybe that's exactly what is happening here. This shocking drama happened right in our backyard, not far away from us, right here in the rich soil of Anambra State. Something began to unfold that sounded more like a folklore than a fact. Because the first time the news broke out, I won't lie to you, I thought it was one of those fantasy stories, all those folklore stories, until I had to now read further, and I realized that it was actually true. Okay, but for those who don't really take their time to listen, they just think that okay, maybe it was just one of those folklore. So an 18-year-old boy, okay, name not given, because of all the reports out there, the name of this boy has not been given. Obviously, maybe for security reasons, I don't know. He's barely a man. He came to the city with dreams, of hostel and apprenticeship, okay? But he's now making headlines for reasons that are shaking tables across Nigeria. In just 5 months, listen, in just 5 months, this boy, yes, I repeat, this boy, has reportedly impregnated 10 young girls. His master's daughter, a sales girl, okay? Upon his return to the village, he added 8 more. And I think what the story was that he impregnated his master's daughter, a sales girl, and I think 8 others, making it 10. Okay, yeah, bringing the numbers to 10 altogether. Okay, so but upon his return to the village, we are told that he impregnated 8 more, to the point that even his mother, weary and afraid, now panics at the sight of any girl approaching their home. Can you imagine this? So your own mama now, God, your own mama now, not they take care, they see woman near their house, because once woman they come near their house, in go they fear say, okay, maybe this is picking when they say they is it very fruitful, I be productive, I don't know how to call them. Maybe something will happen. That is the level of the situation. It's so pathetic, you want to say. Okay? Extremely pathetic. But what could be behind this strange and shocking saga? Is it love? Is it lust? Or is there something, far darker at work? Because you never can tell. Because the whole thing is so strange to me, even as I'm doing this story. But let's begin at the root, okay? Let's begin at the root. Let's consider maybe it was love or infatuation. Let's start from there. So he was asked, according to the story now, he was asked, what magic he used to lure these girls. You want to hear his reply? He said, I told them I love them. I told them I will marry them when I make money or more. Just like that. At face value, this sounds like innocent deception, okay? A boy whispering promises he cannot keep just to gain affection. But is that all? Honestly, I'm asking, is that really all that he tells them? Love, real love, I say, is patient. It builds, it waits, it protects. But infatuation is wildlife. It burns fast, hot, and destructively. This was no love story, I must say. This was a tale of reckless desire, clocked in sweet nothings. That is just the way I say it. And yet, even infatuation does not explain it all. Honestly, infatuation alone does not explain this whole thing. And this brings me to the issue of, could there be a spiritual manipulation in this whole thing? Some say there's a spiritual angle to it. You know, we Nigerians, well, anything that is negative or that is not so right, we are very, very fast as a people to tie to some spiritual machination, and stuff like that. Some will even say maybe it's a sham. Some will say it's a force. Some will simply say maybe he's possessed of something. But whatever it is, trust Nigerians. Something has to be said, okay, to justify some actions. But could it be that this boy is under an unseen influence? Is he a vessel of something darker? When the calabash starts to spin in calm water, the elders begin to speak in low tones. Yes, you heard me right. So his sudden ability to seduce, conquer, and destroy without resistance from 10 different girls raises eyebrows and questions you want to say. So even the Women Affairs Commissioner, who brought this case to the limelight, said the situation might be beyond the physical. Yeah, you heard that. That came directly from the Commissioner of, I think, Welfare or Women Affairs, stuff like that. That was what she said, that it is beyond the physical. So indeed, there are shrines where such powers are requested. There are covenants forged in desperation for power, attention, or even revenge. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, the boy may have opened doors that are now flooding his life with chaos. You never can tell. But another thing that this brings me to is the issue of parenting, which is the foundation. So I'm asking right now, is it parenting issue, or is it just failure of parenting or whatever? Okay. So, so there's this silent weight of parenting in the whole scheme of things right now. The mother's own words strike deep and deep and deep. You heard what she said. She said, anytime I see a girl walking towards our house, my heart jumps. Okay? This is to tell you how helpless the situation is. If the mother, that is his own mother now, is saying this, it means she has even given up because she's totally helpless. Just like the Commissioner for Women Affairs, said. Okay? So for me, parenting is not just about feeding a child, because a lot of you may think that, okay, when they say parenting, that they just give pikin food to shop. No, it transcends beyond that. Parenting is not just about feeding a child, it is about forming them, how you shape them. So was this child taught discipline? Was it guided in matters of the heart? Or was it left to learn love from the streets and loss from the social media? These are the issues I'm looking at right now. The child that is not taught by his mother will be taught by the world, and the world is a brutal teacher. I'm sure a lot of you know this. If you fail to teach your child appropriately, he will be taught by the street. And like I said, the teaching of the street is a brutal one, and you don't want to subject your child to the teaching of the streets. Okay? So, but another thing that we would like to ask here is, where was the father in this storyline? Where was his father? Where were the daily instructions, the cultural boundaries, and the moral compass? Some will blame poverty, but values are not bought in the marketplace. And this now brings me to the issue of these girls themselves. And I want to ask, are they victim or participant, willing participant? Because you never can tell for some of them. And what about the girls, like I said? What made them so easily swayed? Was it that he told all the girls that he loves them, he would like to marry them when he has money? Is that all that was said to them that swayed them? Did they see a young man or a promise? What did they see? In a world where love is traded for validation, many young girls are falling into the trap of romantic illusions. That is what I call it. They are all romantic illusions. That is nothing more than that. No self-defense, no delay, no discernment. Unfortunately, this is the story of so many of our young girls of today. They always fall into this trap of romantic illusions. They don't have self-defense. They don't have sense of delay in anything, no discernment, no nothing. And this is really very sad. And this speaks to the issues we are discussing right now. But there is a need for deeper reorientation, I must say, in our society. There must be a deep reorientation right now. It could be emotional intelligence, it could be sexual education, and even spiritual covering for both boys and girls. Otherwise, we'll keep raising children who break others while breaking themselves. Because if you look at this case very well, you see the boy has broken himself by breaking others. That is exactly what has just happened. Because I wonder, how is he going to, for a boy of 18 years, not one, not two, he started with 10, then later he went to the village, he added 8. And who knows, maybe as I'm making this story, who knows, maybe he has impregnated more. And where does that leave him? Is he ready for marriage? Does he have anything he's doing? Because we are told that he's an apprentice. How is he going to take care of them? And what becomes of the future of these young ladies? A lot of questions, are coming up right now. But I want to leave it this way by saying that what is the community response to all of this? Because the commissioner has cried out. This boy's family is overwhelmed. The community is confused. And in all of this, a disturbing silence lingers where the voices of elders should rise. Because I've not heard that maybe the elders of his village or whatever, maybe they have come out to say something. Because the village heads, the spiritual leaders, the fathers and the aunties and everybody, or with all the seasoned wisdom that they have, what are they saying about this whole thing? Because a child that is not corrected becomes a shame in the market square. It's as simple as that. So what can we learn from this story? I think this is the part that I want everybody listening to the sound of my voice to listen to. The takeaway for me is, number one, parents, raise your children with intentionality. From sex education to emotional maturity, do not leave their guidance to chance. Number two, youths, not all love is love. Many are dressed up lies, bearing the perfume of promises. Number three, communities, be vigilant. Address strange behaviors early. Watch your daughters, counsel your sons. Number four, and the last one, spiritual leaders. It is time to rise and pray. Strange behaviors like this may be a sign of deeper spiritual rot in our midst. So I'm going to end this by saying, when a single match burns a forest, we don't only blame the fire, we ask who left the match where a child could find it. May this story open our eyes, awaken our hearts, and stir our homes back to wisdom. And with this, I'm going to end this story because I don't want it to be too long. But I believe that those of you who have listened up to this point will pick one or two things from this. I'm going to be right back. Thank you so much for being here for me. Should you have any comment to make, please feel free to go to the comment section and I'll meet you right there. Bye-bye.